So this is my memory wheel that I created for literacy. Sorry, it's really big. I just made it from like a cake cardboard stand that I have, which I think I will definitely implement this into my classroom someday because it's really fun and it's big enough for students to not worry about writing really small too. So, and they can draw pictures on it. It'd be really fun. So the first one I'm going to talk about is writing. So some of the main ideas I got from that are the writing process. And something that really stuck with me is that with the writing process, we have to remember that we can move in between the steps. We don't have to follow the line of pre-writing, drafting, revising, proofreading, and publishing. And one of the fun things that I got for like pre-writing that you can do is the heart maps. And that's like a picture I drew up here. So I like had like family, and then you can like list some of your family members or your friends, like just branch off to different things and topics that you can like talk about or that mean a lot to you. And that can really help students. And then the 6+1 traits of writing, I really like the mini lessons. Those were really good and just really helped me understand what those really were. And that was ideas, organization, voice, word choice, sentence fluency, mechanics, and presentation. And then supportive writing environment, how important that is for us as teachers to create that for our students. And then kind of going into that would be like scaffolding. And so that might be shared writing, interactive writing, guided writing, and independent writing. So really you can base it off of your class and choose what works best for them. And also something that stuck with me was not every piece of writing needs assessed. So you can see all of that. And then the impact is what I said is it helps break down writing for students, and it develops their writing in ways to meet the needs of all students. So basically all of these are here to help make the process of writing like easier and better for students. And something that I'm going to take into the future would be heart maps, because I think they're awesome and really provides a good way for students to think about what to write. And then as well as the 6+1 traits of writing, the different mini lessons that we did this semester and that everyone shared and did in class. And I think they would be really handy to use when talking about this. So moving on, we're going to do read alouds. So read alouds, the main ideas that I kind of took away were like how you should intentionally plan for a read aloud. That must be like practice reading the book, and choose a book that might lead into other content. And then make your read aloud interactive. So to do that, I kind of drew a picture up here. You can put sticky notes in your book along the way to remember what you're going to say or ask your students. So, and another takeaway that I completely agree with is read alouds are so powerful for students. You're modeling to them how to read, how to be a writer, how to be a reader, and just the expression you use in your voice and all this different stuff. I think read alouds are one of the best things. And then the impact it has on students. Students are able to observe a read aloud, which models to them how to read fluently. And it allows students to read books they may not choose. And then it also helps with expression and vocabulary. And then something in the future I will definitely do is do read alouds, but also do the sticky notes within the book so I can mark and know when to ask questions and make it interactive for the students. And then phonemic awareness. So the main idea, so I drew that the umbrella, as you can see here, an umbrella term for several skills. So that was like phonemic awareness, like isolation, I don't know if you can see isolation, like blending, segmenting, deletion, all of those. So everything that fell under the umbrella in our PowerPoint, I just went ahead and wrote it because these are some of the main things I took away. And then as well as phonemic awareness is exploring sounds of letters and words. And then the impact is help students learn the sounds of words in the future. So when we did in class, we went over all of those different rhymes and everything, and one that I've always enjoyed is apples and bananas. So that's something I really want to incorporate into my classroom when going over phonemic awareness. So using rhymes and songs in the classroom is something I will definitely do. So there's phonemic awareness. Now we're going to do phonics. So phonics, the main idea is it starts with alphabet instruction, and it's the relationship between the letters and the sounds. And then kind of talking about like the blends, BL, SM, SCR, GR, SL, digraph, CH, PH, SH, and so on, diphthong, O, OY, the schwas, and then the R controlled. Those are main ideas I took away because it was a really good refresher for me to hear these again, because some of these I don't remember from school, so it's really helpful to learn them again and to refresh my mind. And then the impact that phonics has, it's by learning phonics, students will be able to figure out how to spell words. It's a way for students to break down words. So basically, it's finding ways for students to break these down, make these sounds connected to the letters, and it's really important for students to know that. And then something from the future is one fun activity from one of the handouts or links that you shared was how you can use your name to break different phonics down for them. So it's like a really fun first step for them to use is their name to kind of see what they have in their name. So that was fun because students, they're going to learn to spell their name, one of the first things. So then spelling, that leads into spelling. The main idea that I took away, that there's developmental stages of spelling. So talking about the emergent and pre-communicative, so that's 3 to 6 years old. So that includes your scribbles and all of that, random letters. And then you go on to the letter name alphabetic, which is 5 through 8, which for me is probably really important to know because that's probably around the age group I want to be with, or the 7 to 9 range. And that's the letter names with letter sound representation. And then you move into within word pattern, that's 7 to 9 year olds. Syllable and the affixes 9 to 14. And then derivational relationships, that's grades 4 and 5. And then, so those are really important to know. And then the spelling generalization. So the different rules for spelling that we kind of follow, like I before E, except for, all those different things we hear that can be kind of complicated for students to learn because English can be challenging. And the impact is when teachers know the student's stage, the developmental stages, they can use the strategies they know to help them writing. So when we know where the student is at, this is what will help us with the students. And then I will want to use word walls because I think they are really helpful for the students to see on the wall some of those words. Next is fluency, and that is some main ideas I got from that were the 3 components of fluency with written language, and that's accuracy and autonomy, and that's reading the words correctly, speed or reading rate, and that's the pace of reading, and prosody, which is how the reading sounds. And then the theory of autonomy, which is fluent readers it takes fluent readers a little effort to read, but then they can't really understand or learn the information that they are reading. They can't focus on that. Versus less fluent readers, they're gonna spend more effort on reading and they can't focus on the meaning as much as people who are fluent, where they can focus on that more. And then I thought another takeaway, a main idea, was that accuracy equals total words minus errors divided by the total words, and that's something really important that I think I can take into my teaching and I'll use. So the impact is when students are fluent readers, they will be able to learn and understand more. So I think becoming a fluent reader is so important for students. And then we're going to go into the future, and that is, I'm going to check for fluency, accuracy rate, expression, and punctuation. And one way to do that, to check they're fluent, is I want to use Reader's Theater. I think that's great. I can assign students parts and they won't be surprised by it like you would like popcorn reading. They'll be more apt to participate, and you can check for how well they read, because they're going to read out loud, but not in a way that they think they're being assessed. And then running record. Main idea I took from that is the assessment tool, which provides information about child's fluency in the use of cues. And then many different purposes for running records, which I thought was really interesting. You can do it for a lot of different things. So you might do level of text for students, flexible to find their like flexible groups, see their progress, or even just trying to plan their next steps of what you want to do with this child. And then teacher marks down using coding system. So right here is where I kind of drew the coding system that you'll see on the paper. Not the prettiest picture, but it works. And the impact it has on student writing is it shows cues that the students use. It helps us see the fluency of the child. That way teachers can give the student the proper help. So basically, yeah, like this running record just helps a lot for teachers to see how well the students are doing and how they read and like the cues they use. So next, we're going to go on to our last one, and that's vocabulary. And the main idea I took away from that is children will be more successful in school if they have a large vocabulary. So it talks about children should have 2,000 to 3,000 words added to their vocab each year, which is so much, but that's really important for us as teachers to know that that's how much that they should learn and how much we should focus on words. And then another takeaway was Friday tests are the most ineffective methods. And to me, like, I can totally see why. It's just crazy to hear that, because all throughout school, like, that's exactly what I had was Friday tests. And then another one that I wrote here and drew is the 3-tiered vocabulary model. And that was tier 1, 2, and 3. Each one having, like your tier 1's your everyday words, your common words. Tier 2 is your high frequency words. And then tier 3 is your like low frequency or content specific words. And then also from vocabulary is like word parts. So you're gonna like the root, the affix, the prefix, and the suffix. And those are really important for students to learn too, because that teaches them the part of the letter when they know what that means. They tend to know like what that word may mean or how to write it. And the impact is it increases comprehension, and adding more vocabulary can make better readers. And then in future, I want to do like the word webs. So basically you can see students' word knowledge. And then I want to use all parts of vocabulary. So using speaking, listening, reading, and writing. So basically just knowing your students and know what you should incorporate into your classroom. And to try to use all of them, because all of them are really important to use. So this is my memory wheel. Thank you.